Hell Let Loose on console is finally getting a massive update on May the 17th. I know I'm a little bit behind on this news, but that's okay because we're finally getting to it, and I want to go into some details with what is coming to the update. In short, we're getting a huge update bringing the Eastern Front and a lot of the content that's been on PC to the console version of the game. But I wanted to go over some more minute details in the dev post that they put out. So without further ado, remember, if you do enjoy the video, don't forget to leave it a nice, thick, and juicy like as always. Of course, if you enjoy this kind of content, give that little subscribe button a little ring, and you can get more content like this. Of course, got to thank my channel members. You guys are awesome. You help make these videos possible, so thank you guys so much. And let's get into these dev notes. So like they say here, they got a little summary here at the top. The first content update for Hell Let Loose on console encompasses a bulk of new material, including Soviet forces, maps, weapons, vehicles. Basically, all that cool stuff that we've been watching PC players enjoy on the Eastern Front. So we're going to get our hands on things like the M97 trench gun, the FG42, and a host of extra maps I'm very excited about. If you guys watch my enlisted videos and Stalingrad and whatnot, those are some of the most fun maps in that game. I'm very excited to see what Hell Let Loose brings to the table and actually get to experience that. And like they say here, this update brings us one step closer to full parity with PC content and will be free of charge. You hear that right? You don't have to buy anything extra. So if you're on PS5, if you're on Xbox, I think it was actually free on PlayStation for a little bit, but this DLC will be free. So you're getting an entire new front of the war completely for free, which is freaking awesome. And I think another thing to add here is, as they bring it more in line with the PC version of the game, that's going to make developing it a bit more streamlined, so it'll be a little bit easier to get updates out on time, I would imagine, because then they can just work with a similar builds of it. Obviously, it's going to be a little bit different across the different platforms, but you're not having a version that's a year behind another version, and I think that would just help a lot with planning new content for the future as well. Like I say here, Update 1 will be released Tuesday, May 17th at 12 p.m. BST, 7 a.m. EST for us in the United States, so be a little bit of a time zone so you can get up and wait for it to go through. Now, there is a nice letter here. I'm not going to go through and read the whole thing because it doesn't necessarily have to do with the game update, but I do recommend you can pause the video and read it right here, or if you want to go to the actual update itself, I'll have the patch notes linked below and you can read it. But it's a really nice statement from one of the developers about the conflict that they're trying to portray in the game and how it's, a lot of people want to tie it to the modern conflict, but they've consulted with both people from both sides of the conflict going on. I don't really want to reference it because YouTube might give me the hide you in the algorithm disease on this video, so I don't want to name it, but it is a really nice letter that they put here about how they want to try and respect the events of the past without trying to bring any sort of comparisons or any sort of spotlight on what is going on currently with the factions that are going at it at the moment. And again, I think it's a really nice letter worth reading. Now down here we have the full list of content and changes shipping with Update 1. Of course, the Eastern Front maps, Stalingrad and Kursk. We also get Saint Marie du Mont version 2, the US offensive for Foy, Hill 400, the German offensive, Purple Heart Lane in the Rain, the German offensive, Carentan German offensive. So going a little bit the other direction on some of these maps that may already be in the game, but sometimes going in a different direction can offer a vastly different experience, especially in a game such as this. Then down here, a lot of the new weapons are pretty much Russian weapons, I think, aside from the M97 trench gun and the FG42s. I'll say the rest of these are all the Russian ones. Obviously the PPSH, Mosin Nagant, DP27, SVT40, Tokarev TT33. These are all going to be Russian weapons, of course. Makes sense, we're getting the Eastern Front, but it's nice to see all these weapons come in. If you've been following this channel for a while, we were very sore when Battlefield 5 didn't bring the Eastern Front to the game, and it'll be nice to be able to play around with some of these in Hell Let Loose. Explosives, again, some of them are going to be this, well, it's pretty much going to be Soviet stuff, and then more equipment. Again, going through the Soviet version, you can see the SOV next to it. It just means the Soviet stuff, which makes sense as they are adding all the Eastern Front equipment. As far as roles that are being added, all the Soviet Union versions that are existing in the PC version of the game are coming to the game. There is a veteran version of the US Assault and a paratrooper version of the German Automatic Rifleman coming to the game, as well as a veteran German sniper coming to the game. Anti-tank loadouts have been shuffled around, so new loadout orders, standard issue, gun crew, and ambusher whereas the old order was standard issue, ambusher, and gun crew. So they just flipped gun crew and ambusher. Vehicles, mostly Soviet stuff here. Of course, famous T-34. I got some half-tracks, recon vehicles in here. They are adding the German, well, they're replacing the German Panther with the Panzer IV medium tank. They're adding the M3 half-track for the US, which is also coming to the Soviets, because, you know, we supplied the Soviets with a lot of stuff. And then the Blackfire says this a lot better than I do, so I'm just not gonna try and pronounce the German half-track, but some of you guys know what I'm talking about. New commander abilities are coming into the game as well. So for the US and German side, you can spawn light and medium tanks, or well, the US side, you can spawn the medium tank. German, you can only spawn the light tank. Final stand has been removed. Resource changes to all commander abilities. You can spawn a half-track. The Katyusha strike sounds like something that would be coming to the Soviets. And then the UI is going to be set to the Soviet backdrop with the Soviet music. A lot of the Soviet key art, things like that. So it's going to have a much more Russian feel to it. Totally fine with it. Not that I don't like the existing UI, but it's nice to have something different, of course, as the game updates. Achievements: Defender of the Motherland, the village of my babushka, 5 matches of Kursk, play 5 matches on Stalingrad, and then new DLC uniforms: Tropic Fever, which is a US cosmetic DLC, as well as the Hot Drop US cosmetic DLC, and the False Front German cosmetic DLC. Pretty excited to see these in the game. And then these are just a bunch of bug fixes down here. You can, if you want to pause and read all these, you can. I personally haven't had many huge bugs within the game. It's been relatively smooth. They're fixing the VoIP exploit on consoles, so that could be nice. But otherwise, a lot of these, they're definitely good and they're good to add. There are little things you'll notice, but none of these are massively game-breaking bugs. I'm glad they are fixing them, so that is nice to see. Anyway, I'm enjoying Hell Let Loose, and I'm very excited for this update on May the 17th. Let me know down below what you think. Have you been playing Hell Let Loose? If not, I recommend trying it. Let me know what you think about it. Anyway, I will see you guys in the next video.